Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Tevora Talks. I'm your host, Cash, as always, with my co-host and partner in cybercrime, Mr. Matt Mosley. Welcome back from Vegas. How you doing? How you feeling? Are you recovered?
I'm getting back to recovery. I survived. We survived the active shooter.
Survived. Yeah, the potential active shooter. That's a situation we'll dive into for sure.
Yeah. And survived all the meetings, survived all
the heat.
the
The
food
heat.
meetings. There was a lot of food to be had,
There's a lot of
but
food.
I'm still here.
Yeah, it was a nice trip. It was a nice trip. For those of you that don't know, last week was Defcon 2022 Las Vegas that we visited. We did a nice show from over there. We have some clips and other good stuff coming soon. But yeah, I guess maybe we'll just do a little Defcon recap, how it was. What did you miss if you weren't there? And if you were there, hopefully you came and said hi. You found us. We gave away a lot of stuff. Gave away tons of we gave a lot of swag. What do we have? We had
Pullovers,
pullovers,
t-shirts,
t-shirts.
stickers,
Yep.
pogs.
We had it all. We had it all, man. It was cool. It was a fun event. There was a lot of people. So I guess let's cover it from the get-go. We kind of got there.
Yeah, we just started with Black Hat, the end of Black Hat, right? We went to so Tevora had a marketing event at Speed Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Got to see some fast cars driving through. I didn't drive any cars. I've driven them in the past, and I fulfilled that need for speed. But did you drive? I don't know if you drove or not.
I didn't drive, but I get the adrenaline rushing through doing podcast interviews.
Yeah, just driving with me.
Spend a few hours with Matt. You don't know what'll happen.
Yeah, we did run a Tesla. That was pretty fun.
That was fun, dude. That thing, the one that you had too, was one of those dual motor ones, and dang, that
They
was
get up
quick.
and go.
That was quick. I don't know if we figured out the ludicrous mode completely, but I don't know,
I
man. What
mean, officially on the podcast, we didn't.
I feel like one of those little like straight shots that we did got a little bit of air one time, for sure.
Yeah, it hurts if you're listening. We did not catch air on any of the bumps in Vegas.
It was just
But
natural.
allegedly, there was someone else that was driving out there that was doing that. So
Yeah, exactly. From what I heard.
yeah.
From what I heard. But DEF CON itself was pretty cool. Weather was
Defcon was
pretty
great.
hot.
Yeah.
It was hot. It was
Crazy weather. Let's talk about that for a little bit. So
it
was it Thursday? Thursday was like started to rain, right? Flooded.
flooded, flash,
Yeah.
lightning, thunderstorms. It was
Yeah. There's some clips from people like riding floaties down the water, into the into the drainage around DEFCON. That was pretty great.
yeah, it was intense. I remember was speaking with one of my friends who was flying out too for DEF CON, and she was giving me updates like, hey, our plane just keeps circling, and then she's like, oh, we're headed back to Orange County. Then the
That's
next day,
terrible.
same thing. She's like, we're circling. The new storm came up. We're headed back to Orange County. So she eventually ended up driving out.
I wouldn't even go at that point, honestly. Like just me. Like
I know.
you've wasted 5-6 hours doing a plane and then having to come back and who knows how much time it was like circling, right? And then to go back to Orange County, California, and then drive out, which is like what, 3.5, 4 hours. Yeah, I don't.
No, what she had to circle around twice.
I know.
Oh,
So you're doing your air. So you get to the airport an hour before your flight, right? So that's an hour burn plus time getting there. Then you do your flight, which is what, 2 hours, 1 hour,
well, I mean, the way she was mentioning it, the flight time plus hovering over there,
plus
then the flight
hovering.
time,
Yeah,
and then they had to
twice,
come back
right? So that's at least 5-6 hours on
each
2 different
time.
days. There's no way on the second day I'd just get in the car and drive out. Like I'm too easily defeated. Like there's no
Yeah,
way.
big time, big time. I know when by the time she finally takes, she's like, "I'm here." I'm like, "I'm done."
Yeah.
Like, have a great time. I'm exhausted. Well, you could have made it to like probably I don't know South Africa at this point. Amount of airtime that you had, but
But yeah, that was crazy. And then Friday it was like what, flooded in the parking structure. We didn't even park there because it was too crazy. And then during so we were podcasting from the blue team village. And at that time, do you remember the wind? It was like blowing over tables and the palm trees were going back and forth. I thought they were going to fall down. It was
Oh
crazy.
yeah. Oh yeah. Every like an hour or a couple hours, you'd get like one of these, your phone starts buzzing, everybody's phone starts
Oh,
buzzing,
yeah. The
like
flash flood
flash
thing.
flood,
Good
flash flood,
Lord.
flash flood. I'm like,
I
what
forgot
the
about that.
like, what's going on, man? But
Yeah. So aside from that, conference was good, but some
conference was
craziness there. I didn't get to see a whole lot of talks, just with all of our schedules, but I did get to see some of the tools. We went into some of the villages. The car hacking village was pretty awesome. Tamper Evident, always awesome. That's one of my favorites. I did not get over to Social Engineering Village, but the Blue Team Village was pretty lit. Had a good time there, right?
Blue
I
Team
think we all
Village was
did.
awesome for
Yeah.
sure, for sure. Tons of crowd there. It was so the convention was split up. There was two areas. One, the main
I
area
think there
was at
was three
this.
areas.
Was it three areas?
Yeah,
Where
I
did
think
we
there
go?
was another hotel that had stuff too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We didn't make it there then. I
No, we
know
didn't make it to all of it. Yeah.
the main area, of course, was the Caesars Forum, not to be confused with the Caesars Forum shops. That was
Yeah.
lit up like a great one.
Was awesome. Let's take a minute to talk about that, by the way.
It was awesome.
I've been to DEF CON in the past a couple times, and this was by far the biggest venue. The speaking rooms were huge,
Huge, huge,
and
huge.
yeah, it was great. And the decor was awesome as always. But man, they did such a great job. When you walked in, there was this video wall right there that just kept changing throughout the day, and it was kind of this like cyberpunk sci-fi look, and then it would change into this kind of like 80s retro DeLorean kind of thing going on up there. It was really cool.
I feel like that
And then
was kind of the vibe, like the 80s theme. Even the badges were like these like
yeah,
mini
the piano thing,
chipsets, piano
keyboard.
keyboards with like a little digital interface. And there's a lot of things coming around now, but like, you plug it in, try to hack your badge. It's kind of cool
One of the better badges that I've received, honestly.
for sure. It's pretty
Not to
badass.
crap on DEF CON in the past, but the vinyl record, by far the worst badge I've ever received.
Was that in the mid 80s or when did they send those out?
That was like 2015, 2016, I think.
All right.
Terrible. Like, so you couldn't clip it, or you could clip it, but it wouldn't stay around your neck. Right. So people would just hold it in the sleeve that it came in and then kind of clip the sleeve. But unless you had a vinyl record player with you to play, the puzzles that were there, like there was really no need for that. And everyone looked like Flava Flav walking around, right? Had these huge white records, or if you're a speaker, I think they were red or something, or black, maybe. I don't know. But that was the worst one. The first one that I ever went to was like 2011, 2012. And it was like a stamped metal. And it was part of a puzzle. But it was like the Eye of Ra from like Egypt. And
Oh, okay.
that was cool. I mean, it looked cool. It wasn't like, an electric badge or anything, but definitely better than the vinyl badge. But this year's was a lot of fun. It was already put together. You didn't have to do anything. Like I've been to other conferences where you get a badge and then you can buy a kit and build it yourself and, use the hardware hacking village or whatever to, solder it together. But this was great. Just came packaged, ready to go. And I brought it home. My kids love it. They've been playing with it ever since. So
Oh, are they like messing with the keyboard or are they trying to break into it?
yeah, they're messing with the keyboard, put some headphones on. They're trying to play music.
That's cool. That's cool, man. But it's definitely, I think, in badges in general, from like concerts and events that I've gone to, it's one of the ones I'm like, oh, I kind of want to keep this one. This is
Yeah.
gonna go in the magic box of memories for sure.
Yeah, really cool. But yeah, they had the speaking areas, and then around the back was like the vendor area and all the villages and the contest area. I thought it was really, really well done compared to the vinyl badge year, whatever year that was, because it was at like Bally's Paris. And I think it was the first year it was there, and it was terrible trying to get from one to the other. So bad that the goons had to like go down in this one tunnel where everyone was just, it was a fire
Escape
like
route or something.
emergency waiting to happen.
Oh God.
But the goons went down there and separated everyone. So like one side was going, to this hotel and the other side was going from the hotel. And until that happened, it was just yeah, if you had claustrophobia, you would probably have a panic attack. So
I mean, I'll tell you this much. So this year when I went there, I think maybe it was a combination of just it being super hot, which I don't like. I can't handle anything above like 70, I'd say 8. That's just my Cali blood. But I think being hot, we got into that main conference room. There was on Friday, dude, there was so many people there. It was
Yes.
packed, packed. I
Yes.
don't
And at
even,
times the smells were not good.
yeah, and I mean like
Hygiene people.
but the main hall at the Caesar's Forum, that was fine. Big
Yeah.
ceilings, big space. It could accommodate that. Then there was like the second area that was inside the Flamingo where the red team, blue team village was,
Yes.
where we had to go through the tiny hallways, low
Yeah. The third
ceiling.
floor. Yeah. Yeah.
That was like, whoa, this is
Yeah.
like
It was so hot.
pandemonium, man. It was hot.
And
It
then
was
having to wear
hot.
your mask on top of that.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That trip made me realize how much I didn't like wearing the mask.
Yeah.
It was like the hot weather outside, plus the humidity outside, plus this, the stench of humans all being in the
Yeah.
same place, and the mask is like, ah.
But man, how cool was it? Like just standing there doing the podcast. We had like 15, 20 people gathered around us. Like we're throwing out shirts, giving out stickers. It was awesome. I
It
loved
was
it.
awesome. I liked our we were asking some questions, just very basic, basic. One of the best ones that we asked a couple top was, pineapple on pizza. Is that a real thing, right? Let's see how many people are for it.
Which is a hot topic
Which is
inside
a
the walls of
hot
Tevora.
topic. It's a hot topic. Ironically, I think more than 80% of the people we asked, they actually were for pineapple on
Yeah.
pizza.
Yeah. We were the outliers on all of our questions.
Yeah, for
Right?
sure.
Zoom versus Teams. I did not
Teams.
expect as many
Teams.
people to say Teams.
What was the
How are
one
you
that,
getting Teams to work so well for you? Because I had a crap time today just trying to get Teams to work.
yeah, Teams is, I mean, I'm still like not enjoying Teams, but whatever. I guess maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're
I
just
don't
not
know.
used
I
to it.
must be doing something wrong. And I think I'm highly technical. Actually, I take that back. I know I'm highly technical. That's what's the most infuriating part about it is like I shouldn't be having issues with Teams, but
I
I
think the
do.
biggest thing is like the UI. Like Zoom is more like Apple style, like clean, you know where
Simple
to
to the point.
click, simple, you can't get lost. Teams, man, like I can't figure out how to clear out my chats. It's like pulling every time I open up Teams, it brings up a chat dialogue from I think like 2 years ago from
Yeah.
company X that they invited me to.
Right.
I'm like, hey, how am I still a part of this chat group? You know?
I think Microsoft has that problem across all their products, right? Like, um, yeah, and I'm a Microsoft fan. Like, I will take Microsoft Windows over Mac OS any day. Sorry, I
Oh,
just will.
oh,
That's just
oh,
me.
all right.
But like, Microsoft's, I think it's Advanced Threat Protector
ATP, yeah.
ATP or something like that,
Hmm.
or it used to be Microsoft Defender. Then I think it was Microsoft Defender ATP, but it's their EDR platform, their endpoint detection and response platform.
Which
There's
is
so
cool.
many bells and whistles that
There is
it's almost too
tons,
much to try and,
tons.
and handle. Even though you have all this data and telemetry, it's really hard to kind of for me at least to operate when I used to use like Streamline stuff or not Streamline, but I didn't have as much information to work off of like CrowdStrike and Sentinel-1 and even before that Carbon Black. And so the Defender ATP is like too much. And that's kind of like how Teams is. It's like too much going on. Like now Zoom has chat too, just like Teams. And it's like, I don't know. I just kind of want to stick to my video conferencing here and my chat over on Slack here and my email over here. I don't need it all combined into one. Maybe some people do, and maybe I'll get used to it, one day. But right now I'm like, it's too much.
It's too much. I
But
like
anyway,
simple.
I'll get off my
Simple.
soapbox. But I was surprised that so many people wanted Teams. But
I know I was, there was two people. You remember what they shouted out?
IRC.
IRC. When they sound like Microsoft Teams or Zoom, you're like, IRC. I'm like, can you play
Which
along,
is
man?
respectable, but good luck in the business world. you know,
I do want to point out not one person mentioned anything about like whatever. What else is there? Maybe Discord
WebEx.
video.
Someone mentioned
Oh
WebEx.
yeah, one guy went. One
Nobody
guy
mentioned
mentioned.
Discord. Yeah.
Yeah, but speaking of EDR, when we got off the airport, all the screens, you know how they have like advertising signs, banners, and whatever was there when you're like arriving into Vegas, leaving the
Yes.
airport. You know what was on there? What EDR?
Sentinel
That
One.
Sentinel One took
They were all
over the
over the place.
airport, man. Yeah,
Yeah. They
where
dropped
was
some money.
where was CrowdStrike? Maybe their stock crumbling and chopping in half suffocated their budget. I didn't see
I don't
any
know.
CrowdStrike.
I
Did
think
you?
Sentinel One got some new funds coming in, some new
For sure.
investments from their stock going public this year. So, but you know what else was happening on the screens at the airport?
What?
Not me, but a guy I know
All right.
was bypassing the kiosk and getting into the back end of the windows and opening up a PowerShell prompt and
No
um,
kidding.
all that stuff. And we saw that quite a bit too throughout the casinos, slot machines and
Oh
TVs
yeah, yeah.
everywhere. Yeah, so
Slot machines left and
hide your
right.
phones, hide your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, for sure. Slot machines like sporadically, even if it was off, just because of the environment we were in, I'm like, this somebody did this.
I
This
don't
is
know
what
what
like
casino it
accident
was, but
done.
there was a whole section of slot machines that were shut off.
I
Uh,
noticed that walking through what was it, Mandalay Bay.
that could have been where it was. Yeah.
I noticed a chunk off there. I think I
Yeah.
saw some off at MGM.
Yeah. So for pro tip for those going to DEF CON that have never been to Blackhead or DEF CON, if you're going to bring your device, don't jump on public Wi-Fi. If you do jump on public Wi-Fi, well, in fact, you know what? Regardless of public Wi-Fi, just always use a VPN. But if you're on public Wi-Fi, definitely use a VPN. Disable Bluetooth if you're not using it. Um, we heard reports of people getting certain things airdropped on their phones. Uh, male genitalia being freely dispersed on airdrop. So yeah, just be mindful of where you're at and who you're around.
You know, one of those vendors they gave these NFC like tags as like a promotional thing
Yeah.
where you can program, you can go on their thing. Does NFC, I don't know, is it talk over Bluetooth?
No, I think it's its own protocol, near
It's its
field
own thing, right?
communications, NFC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it's not using Bluetooth channel for its thing, right?
I
So
don't believe so. No.
can you ever turn off NFC on your phone? Because like I put
I
that
don't
AirTag
know.
thing in my back pocket. I had everything off. Now that I think of it, yeah, when walking into the convention, I turned off Wi-Fi, I turned off Bluetooth. I put that in my pocket and boom, it picks it up. And it's like, go to the website. I'm like, well, go to what website? And then it took me a second to think. I'm like, oh my God, this NFC chip's in my pocket too.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a RFID blocker like on my wallet and stuff for all my chips on my cards and stuff. But they don't do that for phones. I don't know. You probably lose your cell phone antenna connection.
Interesting, interesting. But yeah,
Very.
DEF CON was cool.
Yep.
It was it was pretty cool. Every room was like, different color. They had LED lights everywhere. Every room had this like, hackery vibe kind of feel to it, dark, dim lit, just
Yeah.
but like, blue lights or red lights or stuff. And
But it's good. I mean, like for people going to DEF CON, I think you can feel a little intimidated, going there. And I'm sure a lot of us have, imposter syndrome where, we don't feel like we belong or we don't want to ask the wrong questions and sound like an idiot. But I mean, aside from like I can't really put a bar, but I'm sure there's a level of dumb questions that people kind of mock you for, but for the most part, people are helpful. They want you to learn. Everybody's inclusive. As far as like social groups go, I think there's a party for everybody. And there's definitely groups, right? Like I saw women in cybersecurity. I saw people of color in cybersecurity get-togethers. There's a lot of LGBTQ events going on. It's just I think everyone's there to not only have a good time, but also learn about security and just find other like-minded people. Nobody's really rude. Like I didn't have anybody, that that one lady I bumped into, she was about to throw down, but she was not part of the convention. We bumped
Who,
shoulders,
who was
but
about to
everybody else
throw
was
down?
cool.
What was that? What happened there?
She was walking towards me and she was talking to her friends, and I was walking towards her and talking the other way, and we just collided with shoulders. But man, she was not happy, and she didn't apologize to me. And I would say that we were 50% to blame for each other running into each other. But anyway, I apologized, moved on. But that didn't happen at DEF CON, right? Everybody's there. If you bumped into someone, you usually say excuse me or sorry. And we were handing out stickers and people handing us stickers, and it's just a good vibe. And I think DEF CON, the people that run DEF CON have done a good job of that. I think the goon staff has done a great job of like making sure people feel safe.
Mhm.
I know there was some issues in the past with, women being sexually harassed and assaulted, um,
Oh, wow.
like groping and stuff in the crowd. I think guys don't sometimes, and I'll just say guys in general, but sometimes don't know their boundaries or weren't raised right. I don't know. But anyway, that has been taken care of. And I think they have like a hotline that you can report to now if you're there and stuff like that. I saw a bunch of kids there, which was awesome. Handed out a sticker to one kid. I told his dad, I was like, we're a kid friendly podcast. We have our moments, but for the most part, I think we're pretty good. So, but yeah, I wouldn't take my whole family there, but if my kid's interested in cybersecurity, I wouldn't have any problems have them going. So
But speaking of security, that first day that we went, remember, so there's a bunch of gates that pretty much kind of surround this convention
oh
center,
yeah.
the Caesar's Forum. And for all those people that were there, man, there was, I don't even know how many thousands of humans just swarming around inside this place. There was one security guard at the very front door, you remember?
Yes.
Literally, that's it. One official security guard that's like, has the security thing on it. Of course, inside there was like you
The
know,
goons.
uh the goons, of course, are like, hey, put your mask on, and here's a mask if you don't have one, whatever, whatever. Go left, go right, keep moving, etc. But that first day, I remember we were kind of walking from the parking lot, and some guy came out of like some corner, opened the door. Like, he's like, "Hey, hold on here, come on, run, guys. I'll let you, let you."
Yeah. We just walked right in.
We walked right
That
in.
was before we even had our badges.
Yeah, no badges, nothing. And then it took me a minute. I'm like, hey man, did we just bypass security? We pretty much did.
Yep.
It was,
Absolutely.
yeah, we had backpacks on full of clothes and whatever, but hey, security needs to maybe get stepped up next time because we didn't even try to we didn't tailgate. Just guy just opened it
Yeah.
up.
We just walked in.
That's not even called a tailgate because we didn't follow him in.
No, that's called an invitation. He said, come on in.
Don't mind if I do. But other than that, I think it was a pretty nice event. I'm definitely looking forward to doing it again. I think this time around, however, I will not be flying out at the very last day
Yeah, definitely
because
not.
because of multiple reasons.
Yeah.
Number one, I didn't think about it, of course. I'm like, oh, getting a 7 a.m. flight, great. No one's going to be at the Las Vegas airport at 7 a.m. on a Sunday, right? People party all night on a Saturday. Boy, was I wrong. Number one. Number two, you text us at like your flight was at whatever 6 or something. Text us from the airport, remember?
Yeah, I was like 5:18 or something like that.
What happened when you got there initially?
So I get there and I see this huge security line, and I'm thinking like, first of all, I was like, wow, that's ridiculous because it's 5 o'clock in the morning. But I just thought it was the regular security line. So I cut through, check my bag, and as I'm getting my bad bag ticket or whatever you call it, the lady says, "Man, the news crews must be sleeping this morning." And I was like, "What? Like, what was that about? Like, what's going on now?" Because like now I'm like intrigued, right? So I'm walking over because I think I'm pre-check. So I was like, "Oh, I'll just go find the short line because I've never seen pre-check this long in my life. So this cannot be the pre-check line." halfway up the line, someone else is asked, "What's this line for?" And the lady says, "Pre-check." And I looked right at her. And I was like, "This is the line for pre-check?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Holy
How many
moly,
people? Like how many people are we talking?
300, two
In
hundred at least."
pre-check?
Yeah,
Oh my
I
gosh.
was probably at the 100 person mark, like because like I said, I was halfway from where we went into where I had to walk back to, and yeah, it was a good distance. So I had to walk all the way back. I probably lost 20 spots in line because people smarter than me went in line first. And then so I'm standing there and I'm just thinking nothing of it, wondering what she meant by the news cruise. And the lady behind me is talking to me and she's like, "I wonder what happened." I was like, "Yeah, it must have been some sort of security breach." And she looks it up on her phone and it was an active shooter in Terminal 3.
Oh,
And
what?
so I'm in
Oh, that's
Terminal 1. So I'm like, well, at least I'm in Terminal 1. No big deal. Because, like, Terminal 3, I think, is far away. Apparently it's not. But anyway, I guess what happened was there was a guy who was being like obnoxious. He was being, I think maybe even violent or whatever. And then at the same time, as they're dealing with that, a loud noise happened. I don't know if something fell over or what, but it spooked everybody. And it got reported as an active shooter, and everyone ran, right? They either ran outside or they ran through security to get away, fight or flight. And so what happened was they shut the airport down. I think it was like 100 and something flights had been canceled or delayed, and like 170 something flights had been canceled or delayed, and they had to go through the terminals, clear everybody out because they didn't know who did it, who ran through and who was checked. Clear everyone out. I'm assuming probably swept the area for any bags left behind or I don't know if I'll just say any bombs potentially, right? Like this could have been a planned terrorist attack, distraction and then whatever. So they got to do all these safety protocols and then recheck everyone. And that's why the security lines were so long. So
oh
now,
man.
cue to you, what, 2 hours later, I think I told you, I was like, "Oh, it's clearing up now. You should be fine." Because I told you guys to get to the airport early. And then what happened when you got there?
Oh yeah. So just like that, right? You're like, oh, it's chill. So me and Max, we got in the car, we're on the way there, all relaxed. I'm like, oh, we got plenty of time. I have pre-check and I have clear, right? Scan your eyeballs. I'm like, oh, it's gonna take like 10 seconds to go through security because it normally does. Man, we got there. I've never seen an airport look like that. There was sheriffs, police, these police dogs sniffing everything. I think every single TSA agent got a call and it's like, you need to come to the airport today, right?
Yeah.
Hordes of human. We walk into the main area where you check your bags and you get your boarding pass, etc. And then there's two sides, right? There's one escalator that goes like to, I don't know, terminals A, B, and then there's another one that goes to the other ones. The escalators that go upstairs for terminals A, B, there was like 6, 7 sheriffs standing like shoulder to shoulder almost, barricading it, not letting any people upstairs, and a swarm of humans. Like the way it looked was like envision like a college football game where the home team wins and everybody rushes the field. That's what it looked like. That's what that place looked like. Just a swarm of humans. And then we find out that, hey, Terminal D is fine. You guys are good. You can go. We're like, oh, great. We dodged the bullet. Sure. Nope. Definitely not. Got in Terminal D, went up. I've never seen. There was like that security line, which is usually single file, whatever, to go in. There was maybe 6, 7 feet people wide line, and I want to say at least 1,000 people deep. This security line. And I
Jeez
looked I
Louise, dude.
looked at Max, he looked at me, he's like, we're gonna miss our flight. I'm like, just come with me, man. Anyways, so we got to the front somehow. We stood in line for a while, but and then I realized we stood in the main line, clear was closed, pre-check was closed, and I'm like, oh my God, I got so much stuff in my bag. I got 2 bags, 2 laptops,
Yeah,
all this
recording
microphone,
equipment,
recording
laptops.
equipment. I'm like, these guys are gonna make me get naked right now, you know? Then halfway through standing in that giant line, I look and I see that they opened up clear. I'm like, yo, man, I gotta go that line so I don't get strip searched. Then I had to go to clear. That took like longer. Max actually got into the gate faster than it took me to get my eyeballs scanned and go through. But I looked it up a little bit more when we came back. You know what I read, and I don't know the full accuracy, but apparently some dude, look how crazy this is. Some dude like fell over onto a trash can. The lid fell on the ground, made a big noise.
Oh, that's
Right?
what it was.
People started panicking, thinking, and then there was some more noise for some other reason. People started panicking and rushing the security checkpoint, like running through the the metal detector and
Yeah.
whatnot, just to kind of duck, hide for cover, and it caused all this pandemonium and chaos. And they arrested that guy for just being who he is,
Being an idiot.
being an idiot. Yeah.
It's funny.
But
This is the second. It's not funny. It's actually really sad. This is the second airport in a month that I've been to with an active shooter. Well, this one wasn't an active shooter, but uh, pretty ridiculous. Like I was in Dallas, like not too long ago, and active shooter. She pulled up, and I don't even think she got to shoot. They took her down before that, which was great. But
that one was a real
that's the
accident.
times we live in now, people. So
Yeah, it was pretty intense. So, but nonetheless, we prevailed. We came back,
yep.
and
On a lighter note, and I know we only have a couple more minutes here, but Area 50, no, what is it? Area 15,
oh, that was
Omega
a cool
Mart.
experience. Yeah, that was.
Oh man, we'll have to save that for another one. But that was an awesome experience. I want to go back and do the game.
I agree. I
I
think it
thought
was
that
really
place was
cool.
great. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Go online. I don't know, meowwolf.com, or look up Omega Mart or Area 15. Just an amazing art exhibit that keeps on giving. Right? Like I thought we were done and then we'd find more, and I thought we were done and we'd find more. It's really cool.
It was cool. It was cool. When we chop this up, maybe on our other video edits, I'll throw in some clips I have from that. So definitely go check it out. But that's a wrap, right? So
Yep.
DEFCON
Like and subscribe.
2022 is in the books. Like us, subscribe to us. Even if you don't want to subscribe, if you have subscribed, just grab whoever's phone is next to you and grab it, click it, subscribe, so we can keep doing this fun stuff.
Apologies to those that got a sticker on their backpack, but if you're listening to us, it
Oh
worked.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Matt was going around being all sneaky. He's like, I'm gonna stick it on their backpacks.
I just remember that one time at one point we were all just walking, and then there was like 5 people in front of us with backpacks covered in Tevora Talk stickers.
That was all you, man. That was all you.
So I'm sorry that I vandalized your backpack. It was temporary. Now you're listening to us. We can be friends.
Can we be friends?
And if you didn't get a sticker, you didn't see us, hit us up. Happy to send something out. We're going to get a new website up soon, and we'll have a request sticker form there somewhere. And but yeah, we're on all the podcast sites, right? We're on Google, we're on Apple, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, Stitcher, Litcher, Mitcher, Fitcher. We're on all of them. So
They're all there. Find a way to listen to us, and we'll keep bringing you some cool stuff to talk about. If we saw you at DEF CON, it was great to see everybody, and we're looking forward to doing it again next year. In the meantime, it's been nice chatting with you again, Mr. Mosley. We're recapping our fun little adventure,
our DEF CON adventures.
our DEF CON adventures. You know what? I'm gonna title the episode that DEF CON adventures. But with that said, any final words?
Nope, that's it. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Till next time.